fight between the bulls and bears about the support is still going on. Just that now it seems bulls are slowly taking back the control. You are an emotionally strong investor in this market, so you need this. So you need to reinforce yourself with truth to understand what's happening in the market. The market had a glitch recently and the XRP dominance went 10x to the upside. So when the alt market was kind of dipping huge, XRP dominance went vertically up 10x in that glitch. Now that's actually an interesting glitch to see, right? Without that glitch, XRP is above the 20-day moving average, and that's on a weekly, which shows the strength of the market. Now we see that the candle is slowly turning green, and if we get that Hulk smash, that green bullish shaped candle to the upside, that would be great, but we don't know when it's gonna come, because BTC market shows that we may consolidate sometime. Now consolidation doesn't mean we are not going to go up. We may range in this 65,000 towards 30,000 mark. Now once we pass above this 40k mark, that can act as a support, so that should also be kept in mind. So BTC market shows you that it consolidated long time in wave 1 here in the last cycle, and it had much lesser consolidation as it was grinding higher, right? So the consolidation or the range bound movement in crypto is important to understand, because it shows you an opportunity if you understand that the market is moving like this. Here XRP on a 4 hour, which is a zoomed in view, shows this was previously a support which then broke and turned as a resistance for a long time on that 4 hour chart, and then right now we broke above that, came back, retested it, and we are bouncing. That's a good news, because at the same time you see the price breaking through, showing a retest and bouncing. Now what we need is to get above this price range, say 0.93, to show that we are creating a higher high there. So the trend is changing, and this can be a double bottom. So if we manage to break above the 0.93 mark, that's a double bottom signaling, and we would be continuing higher to 1.05 as next mark there. So each of these are really important to understand, because when you do that on a macro, you're bouncing off from this long-term trending support line. So this ascending channel shows you that the possibilities are way higher, and as you move higher, you can reach way higher than the all-time highs. So if you are ready for all of these indicators, which are showing you that the market is slowly turning bullish, understand this: what the wise does in the beginning, a fool does the same stuff at the end. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. In one of my last video, I highlighted that when the market moves higher, people tend to believe, okay, we are gonna get rich, and when it goes down, that correction, they are like, okay, it's crashing. So the crash mentality is taking over, and when it's going up again, they're like, okay, we are gonna become the wealthiest individual, and then again the crash mentality. Why does this matter? Because the market right now, where you live in, not only crypto market, the entire stuff is like that, because these kind of people sell that fear into you. Right now, you kind of get this positive attitude saying Tesla will resume accepting Bitcoin as a payment once the cryptocurrency power hungry miners go halfway green. Now, one of my big questions is, as I told you, I understand that you are here because you are learning on a daily basis. You are here because you think like an investor, right? Then, if you are an investor, would you buy a depreciating asset, which is an electric car there, with an appreciating asset, for example, Bitcoin? Considering it history, whether I'm a Bitcoin fan or not, it's an appreciating asset. So doing that is stupidity, right? In that sense, now you have to look, okay, say you are that stupid who are going to buy that, fine. But the problem is, when you do that transaction, what would be your transaction cost? if you're paying that $30, $40, $50,000 for that particular vehicle, that's not optimal way to do it, right? So these are just way of talking down the market. So if you look at the last point where he was talking the market down and where he changed like this, you will definitely understand that these guys have that precise understanding how to talk down the market because they have that market influence. But the SEC and others won't see this. They talked the market down all the way like this, and then when we were bottoming, creating that double bottom in BTC, they came in saying, okay, this is great, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. End of the day, whether you make it sustainable or not, it's energy being consumed. Even that statement over some time will be turned as negative one, right? So this is something which you and me can easily understand as we think about it like an investor. But you need to understand this. Even though they are stating this, you are getting this. Now remember, if you have watched an interview of Brad Garlinghouse, which was done by Anthony Pompliano, you will now understand at that time, Brad asked him a question and he was like, nah, China can't do that. Look at what's happening right now and you'll understand who's the idiot there, right? So one guy was being logical, just asking a question, what if this happens? And the other guy was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. And that is literally happening now. So even if you call them insiders or outsiders or whatever, they know what is coming because they know the Agenda 2021, they know the Agenda 2030 for United Nations, IMF, BIS, everyone, including central banks, commercial banks, are going for a sustainable green solution. We talked about this here from a long time. Right now it's happening. So one of the stuff which I need to highlight here is, say, this time Elon was kind of, he talked down the market, he purchased the bottom, I hope so, and then he's moving, when the market is bouncing, he's coming out with positive news. But at the same time, I think Barry just missed the bottom. He want to buy more. That's just my opinion there. But, it really feels so because as he highlights this, 99% of the cryptocurrencies are overpriced. I agree with him on some of the coins which went 1000x, which went 500x to the upside. But not other coins, right, which has that fundamental and which didn't move much. So yeah, but 99% right now, I don't think so. Yeah, 50% which entered wave 2, which is correcting in wave 2, which entered wave 3, I agree. But some of the assets, a lot of the fundamental assets are still in wave 1 correction, waiting to enter wave 2. And as it enter wave 2, that's when you see money gaining money in your portfolio. Now what's interesting here is at the same time you see, consumers are slowly waking up. Is that a good news or a bad news? For me, in my opinion, that's bad news. Why? Because previously they had money, fine. They were kind of, okay, will I get another job? I just lost my job. I have savings for next 12 months, but will I get another job? Should I use this conservatively for next 12 months? Blah, blah, blah. And as the economy recovers and they feel comfortable spending that money, now the velocity of money into the economy is increasing. That means prices are going to go up. And here in Bloomberg Economics, it shows like prices are going up fast, but many companies aren't saying that. Just, last time when you went there, you bought, say, for example, 500 grams of cereal for $5, just for example. Now, you'll go there and get 350 grams for the same price. Most of them won't even recognize that because the price didn't go up, just the quantities went down. It's still inflation. It's still the price is going up. Why? The velocity of money is increasing. So that's a time when you should be in assets. We can see a lot of stuff coming like this, but you also need to understand it shows, say, for example, the relief for student loan debt is set to end in September. Now look at the housing market. What about the forbearance program? When is it going to end? How many of them are there? How many of them can pay back these are all question marks for the economy. And at the same time, when you get this, because the government is printing a ton of money and putting it out to you, those who have skill sets, those who can understand the basics, will definitely move into appreciating assets. Because, I've been highlighting this to my patrons as the market was moving, trending higher, showing all these positive signs. We are placed well because we saw that double bottom in BTC and we understood that some of the assets are rhyming or following this asset is. Now, not every assets are making this higher high here. I agree. If you go to different assets, they're still kind of at the bottom here. They haven't moved up. But for us, when we look at that XRP, it's not that bad. It's slowly moving to the upside. It got that bounce. It had that double bottom. Just that it need to move above this moving average on a daily. But remember, it's not the shorter time frame which matters. It is the longer time frame. So on a longer time frame, when you look at XRP, say weekly, this is what you see. The price is holding above the 20-day moving average. Fine. The 50-day moving average has crossed the 200-day moving average. Now, these are happening on a weekly, so it doesn't mean next couple of days it's going to skyrocket. It means over the period of next 5, 10, 20 candles on weekly, you're going to get bullish momentum. You're going to go higher. And if this is what you are seeing in the market, the support being strong, then now you want to go into a 4-hour chart to see, okay, what are the probabilities? Now, you and me both understand that this 4-hour chart may not be too much accurate, but it gives you a little bit of idea where the market is shifting. Here, you can see the trend line that's being a resistance and you broke above that. Right now, the moving average is slowly rounding to the upside, but in a consolidative market, it usually crosses to the upside, come back down, cross to the upside, come back down, it does that. But what matters here is if you can do that and move above this 1.06 mark, that's bullish. Now, what people do have to understand is they can compare it with XRP BTC pair. As BTC is moving up and most of the alts are remaining there, we know that the Bitcoin dominance should increase, right? There's the Bitcoin, and as we talked, we consolidated like 168 days. And we came back down to this support. So as we bounce up, you need to look at the weekly on Bitcoin, and if we are breaking higher from here, that's an impulse to the upside and a correction which is between two parallel lines. If you are learning on a daily basis, educating yourselves on charts, you know that's the corrective pattern where you should be buying if you are in this particular asset. Now, I'm not a fan of that because the ROI would be comparatively very less compared to a lot of different assets which you have in this market, because this market is an opportunity zone. Right now, preparing for wave 2, you have a ton of assets which have the fundamental and which are entering wave 2, which is the biggest wave, and you're waiting for the confirmation there, right? So the BTC pair for XRP has bottomed and it's retesting that bottom again. It hasn't moved down much. Right, on a monthly, if you still look at that, we are somewhere closer to the bottom. We went above the moving average. We are coming back and retesting that moving average. This looks fine. If we hold to that moving average, that's great because the MACD has already crossed to the upside. The volume here in the MACD is showing on positive territory. The RSI is slowly grinding up. You just need to make a higher high here. That's above 50 for RSI. But precisely, this level of 45 has been a support resistance zone for a long time for XRP. You can just take a horizontal line here and just plot it here. Now you'll understand it was acting as a resistance, which turned into a support, then a resistance. Right now, we are above that. So these are stuff like you need to look at the market and say, okay, I see this, what's happening? What's coming next? Because in the RSI on XRP USD, it's a little bit different. You're seeing that the market is trending higher. You have higher highs, you have higher highs, you have higher lows, higher lows. So these are bullish trend. But, that's on a monthly chart. So it takes months to evolve in that scenario. Many won't have that time frame with them to say, okay, this market is grinding higher. I want to ride this market. So in that case, when the inflation is increasing, if you're putting your money in fiat, that's your choice. But understand, there is something which is evolving simply. We've been showing this for a long time as the market is evolving. And we are here showing you this again when the price is above a lot of different resistance. If you plot this, that was a resistance before, now the price went up. If you look at this, the market went up, now we are above that. So this particular shows you are staying above this and you are bouncing towards the upside. To compare with many assets, you can look at say XLM here, just for an example, and you can see that okay, it's also trending higher. It's kind of showing you that it's responding to this particular support level. It's here, we went above, we came back, we hit that one, went higher. Now the next one is here, right? It was in a range where the price was kind of consolidating before it capitulated to the downside. Right now you're above that. So these are stuff you need to understand in the general market, where the market is trending higher. For XRP, it's even more clear. If you are looking at the right time frame, it's trending higher. It's trending higher after ranging, right? So here on XLM, as I showed you, you are watching that it's range bound for some time, fine, then it capitulated to the downside. Now here for XRP, you are seeing this, it was range bound for some time, then afterwards you are trending to the upside. You are having this particular trend where you are going sky high. So this kind of gives you idea, okay, this is happening in the market, I'm anticipating it to go high, and if it's continuing, I'm gonna look somewhere near the all-time highs. But remember, don't forget to take your profits as you go up. In case you get a dip like this, you don't want to miss that. But I'm not saying to take 50% of your portfolio out. We have our strategy, right? Do accordingly. So if you have your exit strategy planned clearly, that's fine. And if you are looking for updates for a lot of different assets in your portfolio and you need updates, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we are posting a ton of chart regularly for you to understand that this market is showing ideas like you're gonna do this. And if you have that, you're gonna make a lot of money. So guys, if you receive value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to get the notifications, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.